In the last 24 hours, Binance did halt Bitcoin withdrawals. We've got a warning about further bank collapses to come. Let's just jump straight into the cryptocurrency market cap, holding above 1.24 trillion, sideways the last 24 hours. Scrolling down, top 50, little bit of red, little bit of green, pretty sideways there. Jumping over to the Big Daddy Bitcoin, 28,888, just below 29,000. It did hit 29,000 last 24 hours. We can see it's pretty choppy as well. If we go out over the week, same deal. This is actually very healthy for the markets. Before we get any further, this video, it is not financial advice. Please do your own research. This is just the news with the fast facts. Carrying on to Ethereum here, above 1900, nice and healthy, hit 1930 last 24 hours. It is up a little bit and to the right. If we zoom out to 7 days as well, when it loads, pretty much sideways action. The longer the market can go sideways, the higher the upside will be without having more of a downside as well. We've put in a stronger floor, so that's what we want to see. The Big Daddy Pepe there, last 24 hours up 7.8%. We are going to get into Pepe really shortly. I just want to talk to you about Binance, and then I've got a video to show you. This is going to be a real quick video for everyone. A lot to catch up on and then carry on. Binance closed Bitcoin withdrawals amid congestion on the Bitcoin network. So the meme pool was clogged with over 400,000 transactions waiting to be processed. This was May 7. The meme pool, that's the waiting area for incoming transactions before they are verified. So Binance did tweet that Bitcoin withdrawals had resumed after nearly an hour of halting. Behind the congestion is believed to be a surge in BRC20 transactions in the last few days due to meme coin like Pepe. So the meme coin trading hype drove Bitcoin fees to their highest point in the last 2 years. BRC is an experimental token standard recently introduced that allows users to create and transfer fungible tokens on the Bitcoin blockchain. Meme coins have become a major part of the cryptocurrency world, making and ruining fortunes alike. So more regulation before we get into this video. But this one here is talking about Binance. They are being investigated for Russia-related sanction violations. Bloomberg. So the US Department of Justice National Security Division is conducting an inquiry into whether Binance allowed Russian customers to access the exchange in violation of US sanctions related to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, according to Bloomberg. So the Justice Department inquiry is another high-profile action against Binance after a 21 joint investigation with the Internal Revenue Service against the global exchange. The US Securities and Exchange Commission has also been investigating Binance for its relationship with two firms owned by CZ. The exchange, and this is what CZ said back to him as well, has built the world's largest compliance team in the space, a 700-member team that addresses 1,300 law enforcement requests on a weekly basis. They are trying to do the best, I guess, without having regulation, knowing what the rules of the game are. You can only do what you can do. So jumping on this video, it's a 10-minute video. I'm only going to play about 30 seconds to a minute, but what this guy has to say is really interesting. Maybe that's a little bit better for you.
We just ended on the banks. What do you make of the regional banks right now? Like, how bad is it going to get?
Real bad.
What does real bad look like? We've already taken out 4 banks already.
Okay, let me tell you what real bad looks like, okay? The panacea of the Treasury announcing.
There's one part he's going to get to in about 3 seconds where he starts talking about gold, and just pay attention to
that all deposits are federally insured doesn't solve this problem. There is capital flight, deposit flight from the banking sector, okay, seeking yield, okay? I fear that just, and I don't say this lightly, but in 1934, the Federal Reserve Act confiscated gold from US citizens. We're at the point where the Fed and the Treasury officials, I'm sure, are having to consider a gate, a law.
So they need to consider a
gate on US bank deposits. Let me tell you why.
Wait.
I'll put that video below. I've also shared it on Twitter as well at Sean Clark 911. In regards to that, let's get rid of that. In regards to that, it is very possible you can be barred from your cash. Obviously, CBDCs and stuff are the agenda going forward. It is what it is. It'll either happen or it won't. The only thing you can do is be prepared the best that you can be. For me, that's gold, silver, and Bitcoin. For you, maybe that's something else, fine wine, real estate, cash in different countries. Maybe it's just bills of cash about. But we are seeing it where you are limited with what you can pull out as well. Something to keep in mind, that video goes way more in depth into a lot more things, but just keep that top of mind. Anyway, carrying on with Pepe. So someone called DMT turned to pittance and made about a 5 million% gain with it. Excuse me. So a crypto trader bought trillions in the meme coin 3 weeks ago on Uniswap for $263. They still hold about 9 million worth of Pepe after selling several $1 million worth. So Pepe, introduced a couple of weeks ago, now worth more than 1 billion. Market cap is making gigantic fortunes for those undeterred by warnings this is a fad that will end badly. Trade named dimethyltryptamine DMT turned into 3.8 million in profits from tokens they've already sold, and their remaining holdings are worth about 9 mil. So they surpassed 1 billion on Friday. This is Pepe. At one point was worth more than Arbitrum are, which is among the hottest newly issued tokens of 2023. There are concerns about the concentrated ownership of Pepe coin. With that, Altcoin Daily did a really good breakdown of that video, so definitely watch that when you're finished here. Since then, the trader has been gradually taking profits by sending smaller amounts multiple times a day to Uniswap and receiving Ether in exchange. One good thing where I want to give them credit is they're not just dumping their whole bag, crashing the price. Nice and slow, and then people can take profits. If you are in Pepe, nobody ever went broke taking profits. Meme coins, if you are participating, are risky. Huge upside. Your downside is you can lose everything you can put in, even more so if you are trading on leverage. So be careful of that one. Now, carrying on. When we get rid of the ads, the New York Attorney General seeks new crypto powers for state regulators. Regulation, it's coming. They just need to do it right. The New York Department of Financial Services would have stronger authority to regulate digital assets, with exchanges having to reimburse customers if they're the victims of fraud. We're proposing common sense measures to protect investors and end the fraud and dysfunction that have become the hallmark of crypto. So it could directly oppose some core tendencies of crypto companies to provide a range of activities such as trading platforms, custody and brokerage services. That all-in-one approach would be counted as an illegal conflict of interest under the Attorney General's rule. Couple of things here. So we'll target a range of stakeholders, from crypto issuers, exchange platforms to digital asset influencers, with all to be held to detailed disclosure requirements. I think that's a good thing. Investors would be offered details of risks and conflict of interest in the cryptocurrency. The crypto companies wouldn't be able to borrow or lend customer assets. Obviously, there's a large part with the FTX blow up as well, being able to borrow or lend customer assets. It's a great thing if they put that in place. Obviously, we don't want them to go too totalitarian. It is what it is, though. So the person that created the BRC20 standard has put out a warning. New frenzy is sweeping crypto land. So-called BRC20s are fungible tokens deployed on the Bitcoin blockchain. Some are beginning to see major market activity. The proposed new standard was introduced in March by a coder known online as Domo. A lot of potential. Tokens on Bitcoin aren't a radically new idea. In fact, one of the earliest big experiments in crypto colored coins was an attempt to do something very similar. Vitalik Buterin was involved in a way with colored coins as well, and I think that led on to him founding Ethereum. But BRC20s, like ordinal non-fungible tokens, NFTs, were enabled by a new feature introduced in Bitcoin's recent Taproot. So the main point of the BRC20 experiment is to see exactly what the new tech can do. Domo and most other experts have issued strong warnings against financial speculation in the new token format. These will be worthless. Please do not waste money mass minting. The reason being, it's just a proposal at this point. No guarantee it will be widely integrated into the blockchain tools like wallets and exchanges. Average users will probably have a hard time accessing BRC20s for the foreseeable future. If they do integrate it and you get in early, great opportunity. Obviously, just look into your downside as well, proper risk mitigation strategies. Now, this article here is Alibaba says open sesame to Web3. Really cool. I'm not even going to read everything I've highlighted here. So Alibaba announced a metaverse launchpad for brands called Cloudverse, built on the Avalanche blockchain. Sports Illustrated, we talked about them last week, and Sotheby's marketplace. But in regards to Alibaba's Cloudverse, it is built on the Avalanche blockchain and it uses their technology and Alibaba's cloud division for computing and storage. This is pretty big for the space. So quick builds for brands. It's a turnkey system for brands, easier for them to get involved in Web3. We want brands, obviously, here in Web3. Onboarding billions, and I think this is the crux of it. The combined annual active consumers on Alibaba's group consumer-facing business in China are said to be over 1 billion, creating a potentially massive opportunity to onboard scores of users and brands into Web3. Now, a little bit of hopium, but with Bitcoin, not unrealistic at all. Obviously, the high was 69,063. That's talking about a breakout towards that target in the medium term. So Bitcoin price action is shaping up to repeat a rare Bollinger Bands breakout. Listen to this, which only happens once per halving cycle, according to data. So observers are unsure about the short-term moves. The consensus remains Bitcoin's upside mainly lies ahead of the block subsidy halving approaches. As that approaches, so the Bollinger Bands on the monthly time frame are setting up a repeat of a breakout event that has occurred once in each cycle. I'll bring up the chart in a sec. This is insane. So Bitcoin is about to break its monthly Bollinger Bands baseline, and when that happens, first target will follow. This would bring Bitcoin to a solid 63,500. So if you have a look at this chart, yeah, I'll try zoom in a little bit. You can see us about 29. Pump up. Now, as they said, it's not going to happen overnight. It's probably going to be more around the time of the halving, which usually happens coming up to the halving. We raise up, halving happens, a little bit of a correction, then we start going back up as well. 63,000 in the next 11 months. Bitcoin, not that long ago, was like 15, 17,000. So more than a 4x. Pretty exciting. It's not about timing the markets. It's about time in the markets. We'll see you on the next one. Have a beautiful day. Be blessed. Peace.